directly from Zoom, but I think it should be okay.
Yeah, meeting is now streaming live on YouTube. Yes.
Sir, yeah, just give me 2 minutes. I'll give you the link as well. Yes. Directly from Zoom. But yeah, so we are live. I'll just ping in the chat box, sir. Sir, I pinged you on chat box. Maybe also I will ping you on WhatsApp. So for people who are able to join through through Zoom, I think we are okay with it. But yeah, new people can join through YouTube as well. Sir, I have texted you on WhatsApp as well.
Ah, okay. I will forward it.
Okay, sir, no problem.
Okay, shall we start then? Because it is already 100. Huh?
Yeah, sir, you can start. No problem, sir.
So, dear friends, students, and faculty members, I hope I am audible, quite audible to you. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, you are
Satyajit?
audible.
Okay.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
Friends, will start with wonderful session by Mr. Satyajit Pattnaik. I will give you his just brief introduction. Satyajit has completed BTech from Odisha. He completed his MSc in data science from Liverpool John Morris University, UK. He is basically Indian from Orissa, and his career introduction is he is presently working as a senior data scientist at HGC Hong Kong, having 9+ years of industrial experience and more than 5 years of experience in data analytics and data science. He has conducted many training workshops on artificial intelligence, machine learning, and participated many international conferences across the globe. He is also a certified trainer from Indian Speakers and Coach Forum. He also runs a community called as Being Datum, where he trains people to excel in the field of data analytics and data science. Data science, data analytics, artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, these are the hot concepts nowadays, highly trading concept nowadays, and therefore, uh, in a 1 hour, it is very difficult to complete all this. But he is going to give a overview of data science, career opportunities in data science, and about some of the possible add-on courses that one can go for uh, parallelly with the MSc as well as after completing the MSc. So I welcome Satyajit in this session and all of you in this session, and I request Satyajit to start his session. Thank you very much, Satyajit.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for the warm welcome. And it's a privilege for me to speak on this particular forum, speaking in front of a lot of people right now, virtually, obviously. Thank you, Kasture sir. I already know you since a long time, more than 1 year. Thank you, Dr. A.K. Pandarkar sir and Dr. B.H. Zaware sir for giving me this platform to speak something related to data science. And definitely, I'll make sure this session, which is scheduled for 60 minutes, but we can go beyond that. And I will try to cover the basic doubts which you have. What is data science is all about, because as you all are coming from masters in statistics background, some of you might be coming from BSc statistics. I'm not particularly sure about the crowd, but at least I know that you all are statistics students, and what runs behind a data science algorithm or a machine learning algorithm is all about statistics and mathematics. And definitely you will obviously excel in this particular field. So I'll let me get started for this particular session. Today's topic, as I told, it's going to be introduction to data science, and we shall also be talking about some of the career opportunities in this particular field. This is going to be the high level agenda for today's meeting. I will try to introduce myself, my team. We will also talk about the mode of training and learning path. We will also talk about the introduction to the field of data science, AI. What are the different buzzwords like ML, machine learning, deep learning, all these things we will try to cover it. And of course, career opportunities in the field of data science and AI, and how to get them, obviously. And then we'll also talk about the applications of data science and AI. Before I get started, I just want to confirm that my voice is perfectly audible, right?
Little bit more.
Okay, okay, sir.
Just increase your volume little bit.
Okay, is it fine now?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's get started, guys. And in the meanwhile, if I ask you to answer some questions, maybe you can unmute yourself, or the feasible option would be to type in the chat box so that I can go through. Okay, so started I recently started a forum called as forum. You can call it as a forum or a community. I started it like back in 9 to 10 months back, along with one of my childhood friend. So this is basically being Datum. Our mission is to make learning and career growth in the field of data science a community-driven initiative and focus on networking while working and earning while learning. Our one-stop platform has an end-to-end learning experience on big data, DevOps, data science, data engineering, all the hot topics which are currently in the market right now. We have a bunch of free community experts to solve your problems. I run more than 10 plus data science communities, be it on WhatsApp, Telegram, or Facebook. More than 10,000 plus community members are associated with me. I also have a small LinkedIn family as well of like 7,000 connections. We do have a lot of free courses on our website as well, which are text and video based, which is meant for self learning. We also conduct a lot of free webinars and seminars like this. And we do have free one-to-one mentorship programs and all this. So we'll talk about on it in depth, but let's quickly get started. So this is one of our slides where our learners has given some of the feedbacks from our previous batches. So you can go to our Facebook page, and if you want to check the authenticity of this particular feedback or review, you can simply connect these guys on LinkedIn, and maybe you can ask them their reactions or their feedback from the course. So talking about myself, as you already have been, I have been introduced by Kasture sir, but my name is Satyajit Pattnaik, and I'm currently working as a senior data scientist in one of the MNCs in Hong Kong. I've conducted a lot of training sessions on data science, ML, AI, have been a part of a lot of international conferences across APAC region and over the globe. And I have almost 9 plus years of industry experience, out of which more than 5 years comes from data science and machine learning. So this is one of the important slides which we will be covering today. This is going to be the learning path for a data scientist. Okay. So the data scientist, I will go through each and every step so that you can visualize in your mind how a data scientist works. How is my day-to-day activity? What is my day-to-day activity? How do I deal with different various teams and all those things? Okay. The data scientist, The role of a data scientist starts with business understanding. We have to, once you are landing up a job in data science, okay, people are still commenting the emails, which is okay. Once you get started in your career in data science, the most important point is going to be understanding the business. Okay, you have to understand the business, you have to have the domain knowledge. Now domain knowledge is still, you can gain domain knowledge is to in 2 3 months, but business understanding is, it plays a vital role. Okay, because if you understand the business, then only you can interact with your customer specific teams, your pre-sales teams, your sales team, your higher management, and then only you can get started. Because only when you understand the problem, then only you can use your brain, use your techniques, use your data science and statistical techniques to come to a conclusion, to prepare some model and give them a solution, right? So the second step is going to be selecting the right types of problem to solve. Now let's say you have been in touch with the pre-sales team and sales team and the management team, and they have given you a list of issues which they are facing. For example, one issue is, most of our customers are leaving the company. They are leaving the company and they are joining our counterparts. One of the problem is people are facing some issues, and people are giving a lot of complaints related to some services, something like that. Okay, so it could be multiple reasons, it could be multiple issues that you are getting it, right? So as a data scientist, you have to jot down all the points and then analyze that, what are the possible use cases, how can we solve these problems, and obviously you have to prioritize those use cases which has an impact on the revenue part. Only those use cases which has a direct impact on the rate of investment, return of investment, those use cases can be prioritized, and the other use cases can also be, kept in the priority list. And that's where you start picking successful measures. Now once you showcase to your higher management that, okay, these were the 10 problems which I got, out of these 10 problems we can solve these problems using three different models. One model can be analyzing the call data records, one model can be analyzing the customer survey records, like doing a sentiment analysis on that, whether the customer is giving a positive feedback or a negative feedback. One problem can be working on a customer churn prediction model. In case we are able to prepare a model which will be able to predict whether a customer is going to leave the company in next 3 months or 6 months, that will be beneficial for the company, right? Because, like, let's say I am the owner of the company, and I have created a model, or my data scientists have created a model in which we are able to predict that Mr. X is going to leave the company in next 3 months. So what will be the next steps? I can give some offers to Mr. X, or I can reduce his monthly charges, or I can do something for that customer in order to retain them. Because in real scenario, getting a new customer is expensive than retaining a old customer. Okay, so that's where you finalize the use cases and you start working on the collection of the data part. Now as you all are not aware, excuse me, as you all are not aware of the real industry work, how does it happen in most of the MNCs is that data is not centralized. Some team A is owner of some data, team B is owner of some data, team C is owner of some data. And in order to get access to the entire database or the entire data, you have to talk to multiple teams. Okay, let's say team A only has the customer profile data, team B only has the customer ticketing data, team C has only the data for the customer review feedbacks. Okay, so you have to talk to each and every team and then gather as much data as possible. That is basically your collection of data phase. Once you collect your data, then starts your preparation of data. Now what is preparation of data? You have to convert your, I would say, unclean data to a clean data. You have to do certain kind of analysis. There will be a lot of analysis which can be done, and then you have to prepare your data. Then comes your understanding data. Now what is understanding data? Exploratory data analysis. We have to do univariate analysis, bivariate analysis. We have to do for numerical variables. We have to do we have to find correlation and all those things. We have to do a lot of techniques, and that's basically your understanding the data, EDA. Okay, once you understand the data, now you know that okay, these are the features that are actually important. And then comes your feature engineering steps. Feature engineering is again divided into multiple steps: feature selection, feature extraction, and etc etc. I'll give you a small example so that we understand better. I hope people are just typing their emails. Okay, that's fine. I'm just getting confused because of the chat box. Okay, I'll give you a small example so that you understand the uh, entire flow. So let's say I am talking about customer churn prediction model. Okay. Now, in order to create a model like this, the very first thing is that I have to collect the customer specific data. Okay. Now, let's say I collected a lot of data. Let's say customer ID, customer name. I'm sorry about the handwriting. I think it's okay. Customer name, gender, geography. Geography means or geography or district, whatever it is, district or state, whatever it is, and tenure. How old is this candidate, is this customer in the system? Let's say 60. That means he's in the system for 5 years. Okay, tenure, and then contract type, and a lot of variables, other variables x1, x2, x3, and then I have a variable called as churn that says whether this customer is churned or not churned. I think somebody is writing on my paper. Can
See,
you
nobody should write it.
please don't write it so
Please
that
don't write. Nobody should write on the screen. Nobody should write on the screen. Gitanjali, don't write.
okay, no issues. Okay, so churn variable is there, so that means y, n, so whatever it is. So y means this customer has churned, n means this customer is still in the system, it's not churned. So our main motive is to identify the characteristics of the customers who have left the system. Now if you analyze it further, obviously 1 hour or 30 minutes is not enough to explain entirely, but just imagine to analyze why a customer is leaving the company. For example, currently you are using Vodafone, tomorrow you will switch to Airtel. What could be the probable reasons? That's where, as a data scientist, you have to think from the person's point of view. Why somebody should churn? If I am using Vodafone, why should I churn? That could be multiple reasons, right? One could be service. If my service is impacted, that means somewhere I'm traveling and I'm not getting a proper internet, and I have been it's a worrying factor for me from the past 2 months, 3 months, and I'm really pissed off. So I'm planning to switch it to Airtel or some other thing. Service can be one impact. One can be charges. That means let's say I'm paying 399 for this package. The same thing is available in Geo for 89 or Airtel for 299. So why should I pay more amount in Vodafone? I'm just giving an example. So all these situations you have to analyze, and so basically we have to read the characteristics of the customer so that we can identify which are the type of customers that are churning. Okay, this is the use case. Coming back to the slide, understanding data. What is understanding data? Now let's say you have to, as I told, we have to do univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, multivariate analysis. I hope you all are clear with this concept, but I'll just quickly explain one thing. Let's say I have gender, the valid values are male and female. Our first task is to identify what is the churn ratio. Let's say I got the churn ratio as 20/80. That means 20 out of 100 people are leaving the company, which is very high. Normally the churn ratio is not more than 10%, logically speaking. But when it is 20, it is too high. Now, let's try to analyze how many males and how many females do we have. I'm just considering a data set of 100 records. Let's say I have 40 males and 60 females. Out of 40 males, so the total churned is 20. Out of 40 males, let's say 8 people have churned, or else let's make it 9 people have churned. And out of females, 11 people have churned. So what is the ratio of female? If I just calculate the ratio, it is 11 divided by 60. The
60.
ratio is 18%. Here it is slightly more than 20%. I would name it as, I will make it as 22%. Okay. So you can see the initial data set has 20% churn rate. Males have 22% churn rate, which is almost similar. In case male is 19 and female is just 1, or else let's make it 15 5. Let's make it 15 and 5. Now 15 out of 40, what is the ratio? It's more than, it's almost 40%. 5 out of 60, it's almost, I would say 8%, somewhere around 8%. Okay, somewhere around 8%. Now you can tell that the male ratio is 40%. That means 40% of the males are churning. So tomorrow, once your model is created, if there is a candidate who is a male and having a lot more characteristics, so obviously with 40% chances are there that that candidate will be churned, right? Because the ratio is higher. Similarly, we have to analyze each and every categorical and numerical value. So this is a univariate analysis. Now let's say you combine gender with contract type. You analyze out of male, let's say 40 males are there, out of which 20 are monthly customers and 20 are yearly customers. That means 20 people have a monthly contract. That means uh, they are just binded every month. Okay. 20 have yearly contracts. That means they cannot, once they are in contract, they cannot leave the company, because if they leave, they have to pay a lot of fine. Right. Now, out of 40, let's say 10 people were leaving the company. Okay. That means it makes it 25%. Now, out of this 20, I can see 8 and 2 here. That means more people having a monthly contract are churning. Similarly, I will analyze it with female data as well. Let's say 60 and 10. And out of 60, let's say monthly contractors, I have 30. And out of 30, I see that 8 have churned and here 2 have churned. So we can identify that contract type is an important feature, irrespective of the gender. Okay, now let's say I will just change the ratio to out of 30, let's say 2 have churned here and 8 have churned here. That means males with contract type monthly are churning, females with contract type yearly are churning. Okay, accordingly, we have to analyze all these kind of situations. We have to do a lot of univariate, bivariate analysis. We have to analyze numerical variables. We have to combine variables and then analyze, and then we can come to some conclusion. So this is the step till understanding data from the career point of view. You when there is an opportunity called as data analyst. So data analyst has a vital role to play in the understanding data phase. Now comes your feature engineering. What is feature engineering? Now, for example, one column is customer ID. Customer ID, I'm not sure you are aware of it or not, but once you start working in the industries, you will have a very good understanding on all these kind of situations. Customer ID is basically a primary key. Okay. And it's a auto generated number. It's a randomly generated number to tag a customer. Obviously, these numbers won't play a vital role in the model, right? Now we cannot tell that a customer's ID is 1001, that's why he churned, right? It is kind of baseless. Similarly, if I also have a column called as customer name, let's say I have Satyajit, I have Saurav, and I have Gitesh. I'm just giving random names. Satyajit has churned. I'll make it as red. Satyajit has churned and Gitesh has churned. Saurav is still an existing customer. He's an existing customer. Okay. Does that mean that anybody with the name of Satyajit will churn? No, right? So these two columns can be neglected using your domain experience. So some columns we ignore using domain experience, and some columns we analyze and then understand that these columns are not going to help in the model building part. So we ignore those features. That's basically your feature engineering step. Okay. I'll quickly stop and start because I can see a scratch on the screen. Okay. So after feature engineering comes your model building. Once you have the insights ready, once you know the characteristics of the churners, then only you start building your model. Now, how to build a model? This is going to be a classification problem. Now, what is classification problem? I will talk in future slides, but just assume that we are building a machine learning model here. Now, that model will be prepared on the historical data, and that model will be good enough to predict the future. That means tomorrow if a customer comes in, or maybe an existing customer's data is fed to the model, then we can identify whether the customer is going to be churned in next 6 months or not. Okay, so we have to create a model. Exploring model means we have to build multiple models. In machine learning, let's say in classification problems, there can be naive based classifiers or decision trees or random forest. There could be multiple other algorithms. So we have to create multiple models. Then only we can analyze all the models and finally come to a conclusion that model one is behaving well or not. Something like that. Let's say I have finalized all the insights. Now I'm creating three models: model one, model two, and model 3. Let's say model 1 is created on decision trees, model 2 is created on neural network, maybe I'll name it as ANN, and model 3, let's say random forest. Now model 1 is giving me an accuracy of 91%, model 2 82%, and model 3 85%. So again, there are some techniques as well which we will be talking about, like parameter tuning and all those things. Obviously you will have to do a set of hyperparameter tuning, and then you have to enhance your models. Let's say after hyperparameter tuning, this is performing 87%, this is performing with 84, and this is still performing with 91%. It is not enhanced. So you can finally go ahead with this particular model and deploy this model into production. Okay. Only when you deploy this model into production, the model will be, universally acceptable, and it will be, given a permission to accessible, right? So we have to deploy our models. Exploring models, finding rapid insights. Evaluation of models is basically your testing phase, because once you create a model, your model is created on a set of data. Let's say I have 12 months of data. Your model is created on 12 months of data. Now, for testing phase, I will not productionize it and keep it for 2 months. So I will test with unseen data. I will see how the model is behaving. If the model is still behaving similarly, like with a good accuracy of 89% or 90%, then I will go and productionize it. Okay, so evaluation, model iteration, and model deployment. Now, model iteration and model deployment is a bidirectional and a loop based step. Now, what is that? In real industries, what happens is, let's say I talked about 12 months, right? Let's say I have built a model for 12 months. Now, just imagine the situation. I don't have the time to cross check the model. I don't have the time to spend 2 months in testing the model. I immediately, what I will do is, from the 12 months data, I will train the model using 10 months of data and test the model using 2 months of data, finalize the model and deploy it. Okay. Now this model is being used rigorously. From the last 2 months, we are using this model. Now let's say there are chances we are seeing that initially the model was giving me 91% accuracy. Now the model is giving me 81% accuracy. That means the accuracy has declined. So what we need to do is we need to again come back to the previous step, again rebuild the model with 12 months of data, sorry, 14 months of data. Initially we had 12, now we have these 2 months as well. So with 14 months of data, we'll again rebuild the model with 14 months of data, again rebuild the model, model 4 maybe. And again, not necessarily this will be again on decision trees. There are chances with decision trees, maybe it is giving underperforming. Again, we have to perform multiple models, M4, M5, M6, and again, all the steps which was discussed right now, all the steps will come into consideration, and then we will finalize the model and deploy it. So that is the reason we say that even if we automate everything, still there is a necessity of a data scientist in the real industry. 100% nothing can be automated. Okay. And that's basically all about the learning path. Anybody has any doubts, I will try to pause the session for 5 minutes. If you have any doubts, maybe you can ask in the chat box, or else I'll move to the next slide.
They will put the question on chat box. You can continue.
Okay, 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 let's continue. So this is going to be one of the biggest confusions which the normal people have. I have also interacted with a lot of people, and people are really confused about what is machine learning, what is AI. And I pitch people that, hey, you have to learn machine learning. And I usually get this response that I'm not interested in machine learning, I'm rather interested in AI. Okay, so I'll just try to clear this basic confusion around the web. AI is basically, like, obviously we know it's artificial intelligence. We achieve AI through multiple areas of researches are there through which we achieve AI. Machine learning is one of them. And you can also call machine learning as a subset of AI. Okay. The other areas of researches through which we achieve AI is natural language processing. It can be computer vision. It can be robotics. So there could be multiple ways where we achieve AI. AI is nothing but human intelligence exhibited by machines. So machine learning is a subset of AI. It's an approach to achieve AI. Okay. And again, further digging down, machine learning, inside machine learning, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. People treat deep learning separately, machine learning separately, but actually, to be very honest, deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and anything that is possible in deep learning is also possible in classical machine learning as well. Deep learning is only recommended once you have too much of data, uh, because if you don't have much data, there is no point in training a neural network, because neural networks and deep learning concepts are bit expensive. Now when I say expensive, that means memory wise expensive and CPU wise expensive as well. Okay. Now what is data science? Again, one of the very common questions, what is data science? Now people who have gone through computer science engineering, they're computer engineers. They study about computers, anything related to C++, Java, processors, what is mouse, keyboard, anything related to computers. If you are studying about computers, it's called as computer engineering or computer science, right? Now similarly, when you study about data, it's data science is the term actually. So to gain insights into data through computation, statistics, and visualization is basically data science. So this is one of the slide about machine learning. I have taken this particular definition from Wikipedia. Machine learning is a type of AI that provides computers with the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Machine learning focuses on the development of computer programs that can teach themselves to grow and change when exposed to new data. Okay. Now one of the important slides as well. Why do we need machine learning? Volume of data collected is growing day by day. The data production is almost 44 times greater in 2020 than it was in 2009. That's the reason data science, analytics, all these have come into practical experiences, because the concepts of neural networks and decision trees, All these we have been studying since a long time. People have been studying it since a long time. These are in textbooks since a long time, most probably 30, 40 years from now. But into the practical applications, it has recently gained some, I would say gained some potential, I would say, because of the capacity which we have right now. So we are capable enough to run a machine learning model or a neural network or all those kind of things. Okay, every day 2.5 quintillion bytes of data are created. Now, quintillion is 10 to the power of 18 data, 10 to the power of 18 bytes. So you can imagine the amount of data which is created. Data is nearly doubling in size every 2 years. Knowledge discovery is needed to make sense and use of data. ML is a technique in which computers learn from data to obtain insight and help in knowledge discovery. So these are some of the applications of machine learning. I'm sure many of you are using Apple and Androids and have been Googling and using a lot of websites. In today's world, a lot of website, I would say more than 90% of the websites or any application, you just name it, it would be using machine learning in backend, at least in one or the other areas. Okay. So these are some of the classic examples of machine learning. Amazon recommendation system. How many of you have gone to Amazon or Flipkart to buy a mobile? Once you click on the proceed to checkout button in the next page, you might have also seen an area which says that people who have bought this mobile has also bought something plus something plus something for 99 rupees, and we often tend to click and buy that because we're already investing 10,000, 15,000, 30,000 for a mobile, and with just 499 we're already getting these three items like a phone case or a tampered glass or something else, and most of the people tend to buy it. So it's basically one of the applications of machine learning. Amazon uses recommender systems in backend, content based and collaborative filtering both. Google Maps, faster route selection. When Google Maps started, I'm sure many people might have already been using Google Maps since a long time. When Google Maps started, trust me, it was not predicting very accurately. But now Google Maps is almost 100% accurate because as an user, we are also contributing to Google Maps. Anywhere you go, anything you search on maps, anything you do something on the Google Maps, the data is being collected by the Google company and they are enhancing the models internally. Okay, similarly machine learning at Apple, we have Siri, which is a live example of NLP because it's a speech to text conversion. It takes input as your speech, converts it into text, and then converts it into numbers, and then ultimately it runs the machine learning or deep learning model in the backend. Facebook, auto friend tagging, Uber, Netflix recommendation system. Most of you might also be using Netflix, right? When you create your first time you create your account, you might have been asked about three movies which you like. Now let's say you select three movies based on the genres of selection, be it horror, comedy, romance, anything. Based on your genre of selection, Netflix keeps recommending you. And obviously, if the fourth recommendation is not accurate, it enhances the model internally and provides you a better feedback or a better recommendation. Okay. Again, it's a classic example of machine learning. Google Translate is also a very classic example of NLP, bilingual, multilingual translation from one speech to another speech. It's an application of ML. And world's first AI news anchor unveiled in China. This is a old story, 2018. I will try to give this link to you guys so that you can go through it later on, not now, of course. Just copy it so that it is not missed by a lot of people, and you can go through it after the session is over. Okay, so this is one of the first AI news anchor being created in China way back in 2018, 3 years from now. And I'm not sure when the development had started, but they went live on 2018. So this is where we will start talking about the basics concepts of machine learning. What is machine learning? What are the types of machine learning and all those things? Now, this slide explains you what is the difference between traditional programming and machine learning. Try to pay attention in this. Traditional programming is, now for example, you are told that, okay, somebody is typed. Okay. Now you are told that you have to create an algorithm which takes two numbers as an input and it provides an output by summing the numbers. So that's basically a traditional programming concept, right? You are providing data, you are creating a program into your system, and then based on the program, it is providing you an output. But in machine learning, we provide data and we provide the output as well. As as you can refresh your memories, when I was talking about this use case, I also have the output. Right now output is churn. I know that these are the 10,000 customers who have churned or not churned. That's basically my output. So using my output and using the data which I have, I'm creating a model which will be able to predict the future. That's the reason it says that data and output is coming as an input to the machine learning model and the program is coming as an output. That means we are creating a model which can predict the future. Okay. Now, with the limited understanding about data science or machine learning, let's try to solve this problem. Which of the following is best suited for machine learning? Predicting whether the next cry of the baby girl happens at an even numbered minute or not, determining whether a given graph contains a cycle, deciding whether to approve credit card to some customer, guessing whether the earth will be destroyed by the misuse of nuclear power in the next 10 years. You can start commenting. Maybe I'll try to read the answers. Which of them is an application of machine learning? It can be multiple choice as well.
Students are commenting. They are giving the option.
Okay.
Many have given the option C.
C. Okay. Okay. Other people can also keep commenting, but let's move on. All of the above. Okay. Now I'll talk about each and every point. Predicting whether the next cry of the baby girl happens at an even numbered minute or not. So if I categorize the minute as two categories, even numbered and odd numbered, what are the chances of a baby cry? Can you? I hope most of you have already gone through the basics of probability, right? What is the
Yes.
probability of a baby girl crying on a even numbered minute? The probability is 0.5, right?
Yes.
The baby girl can cry either on a even minute or on a odd minute. So there is no such pattern in this. It's completely arbitrary, it's completely random. The probability will remain constant in any of the cases. Okay, so there will be no pattern in this. Coming on to the point B, determining whether a given graph contains a cycle. This is programmably possible. So I think using a program, also simple program, we can solve this problem. Coming on to the topic C, deciding whether to approve credit card to some customer. Now this can be an application of machine learning because we have to create a model which will be able to approve or disapprove the credit card to some customers. How do we do that? We have to create a model based on the historical data. Okay, so deciding whether, as I told, the pattern is going to be customer behavior. Definition is not easily programmable, and data we would be using the history of the data, the bank operation, and then only we'll be able to create a model. Okay. Number four, guessing whether the Earth will be destroyed by the misuse of nuclear power in the next 10 years. Possible, possible, but right now we don't have enough data to prove it. So arguably it's no. Okay, but it can be an use case in the next couple of years. Okay, let's get started. This is going to be a little bit it's going to be interesting for you to understand. Machine learning is divided into three types of learning. There will be three types of learning in machine learning in notebooks, but in real time we also have a fourth type. I will talk about that. We have supervised learning. we have unsupervised learning, reinforcement learning. These are the three categories. These are three types of learning which are being taught. We also have a hybrid technique called as semi-supervised learning, which is a combination of supervised and unsupervised learning. Okay. Now coming on to supervised learning, any kind of use case which you are dealing with a label data, which has a data labeling, which you know what you are going to work on. For an example, I'll give some examples. Maybe I'll just try to rub this off. So one example is the same customer churn prediction model. I told you, right? There are multiple columns like gender, geography, and contract type, and all those things. I'm just naming it as X1 to XN because you all are students of statistics, so you will understand it better. And I have a Y variable, which is my churn variable. Okay. And I have like 10,000 records. Now you are told that I know which customer is churned and which customer is not churned. I have to create a model which will be able to predict whether a new customer is going to be churned or not churned. One more use case. One more use case will be cats and dogs classification. Now I have dogs and cats images. Okay. I have like 10,000 dogs images and 10,000 cats images. Now your your problem statement is, given this particular problem statement, 10,000 dogs and 10,000 cat images are available. We have to create a model which will be able to predict a image. Let's say my new image is a dog's image. So I have to create a model which will be able to predict it as dog or cat. Now we know what our task is. We know the classes. We know that there are two classes. One is dog and one is cat. Similarly, in churn, there are two classes. One is Y and one is N. We know what should be our output. Similarly, I will also give an example of regression. Let's say I have temperature data, I have rainfall, I have precipitation, and I have few more parameters, and then I have date. That means every day I'm capturing the data from January 1 dot 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 till November 30. So every day's data is captured. I have temperature 30 degree, 31 degree, something like this. Now, if you are given this data and told that try to predict for the next 6 days, that means try to predict it for December 1 till December 6. What to predict? You are being told that to predict the temperature. Now you are told what to predict. Now you have your labels. You know what to predict. You have the date column, you have the temperature column, you have to do a forecasting. So this is also studied under your supervised learning. Now one more example will be, let's say you have been given 10,000 news, 10,000 news, news data. Okay. It could be like KL Rahul scores 100, uh, PM Narendra Modi does something, something, something. So 10,000 news has been given to you, and your management tells you that, and your management tells you that you have to create something. You have to convert these data into some segments or categorize them. Okay, this is the use case. This is the problem statement. How many categories? We are not told. We don't know how many categories. Number of categories are not told. How to do it? That's, we don't have a concrete answer for this. Okay, definitely we can use clustering techniques to solve this problem, but what to predict we don't know. So this data is oftenly called as unlabeled data, hence it is studied under your unsupervised learning techniques. And reinforcement learning is something like most of you have already played various games and have interacted with chatbots on websites, right? So any model which has a feedback loop. Let's say I have data, I have a model created, I have an output. Once this output is passed as an input to the model on the go itself, that means it's a feedback loop. This model is basically called as a reinforcement learning model. Okay, it's a feedback based model. Mostly reinforcement learning techniques are used in games. Any game you deal with currently in Play Stores or Apple Store, any game, they would be using the reinforcement learning techniques. Okay, you might have also encountered when you play with when you play chess with a bot. Maybe let's say in the first step, in the first try, you try to defeat them in 10 steps. If you perform the exact 10 steps in the next match, you will not be able to defeat the bot, because the bot is retrained on what the mistakes the bot has performed in the first try, and based on the feedback loop, it has enhanced the model. Okay, that's how the reinforcement learning techniques work. From the basic understanding which we have right now, supervised learning dealing with labeled data, we know what needs to be done. Unsupervised learning dealing with unlabeled data, we don't know what needs to be done, but we have to do some analysis. That's basically unsupervised learning. Let's try to answer this problem. Of the following examples, which would you address using an unsupervised learning algorithm? Given email labeled as spam or not spam, learn a spam filter. Given a set of news articles found on the web, group them into set of articles about the same story. Given a database of customer data, automatically discover market segments and group customers into different market segments. Given a data set of patients diagnosed as either having diabetes or not, learn to classify new patients as having diabetes or not. Can everybody start commenting in the chat box? Which of them are applications of unsupervised learning algorithm? In which of the use cases we can use unsupervised learning algorithms? Even if you're telling it wrong, it's okay. That's not a problem, but just start typing it.
There are four applications mentioned, and you are supposed to mention whether it is a supervised type or unsupervised type.
Yes. Okay, so people have started answering. I assume you are answering based on the unsupervised learning technique. Saurav has answered C, Deepa has answered A. Anybody else? B and C. Okay. Keep commenting, keep commenting. Supervised A and D, unsupervised B and C. C. Okay. Nice. So, okay. I think that's a good amount of response, and people have told almost correctly. So I'll just go through each and every problem statement, and we will obviously get the answers very quickly. First option is given an email labeled as spam or not spam. So we know we have a set of emails. Certain emails are spam and certain emails are not spam. That is the problem statement given. Learn a spam filter. So we have to create a spam filter which will be able to predict whether a new email is spam or not spam. Clearly, it's an application of a classification problem. So it is studied under your supervised learning algorithm. Okay. Second one, given a set of news articles found on the web, group them into set of articles about the same story. Same story, but how many articles? We don't know. There could be three articles, there could be three set of articles, there could be three stories, there could be four stories, there could be multiple categories, right? So we don't know. So B is basically an unsupervised problem. C, similarly, we have to automatically discover market segments and group customers into different market segments. How many market segments? We don't know. Again, that is studied under your unsupervised learning technique. Fourth one is clearly it's a supervised learning technique, because patients diagnosed as either having diabetes or not, we have to classify new patients as having diabetes or not. Very clear example of supervised learning problem. So B and C are the answers. Okay. Now the next question is, a huntsman can hit a target with probability of zero point 0.2. That means out of 10, he is hitting 2. He sees a flock of birds, 150 birds atop a banyan tree. He takes aim and fires 3 continuous shots. He hits exactly one of the birds. How many birds remain on the tree? Obviously, 0, right? So that's where you have to apply your domain knowledge. So everywhere you don't have to use your brains to, you know, explore some machine learning techniques and all those things. Most of the problems which are solvable using traditional programming, you don't have to use machine learning in that. And the main importance of this particular slide was that domain knowledge is important. Again, coming back to the example, as I discussed about this churn prediction model, now my x1 is nothing but customer ID, x2 is nothing but customer name. I also explained you, right, that these are not required. Now, how I came to a conclusion that these are not required? I, having the domain experience, I know that customer ID is a randomly generated number. Customer names are just names. It doesn't impact the models. So using my domain experience, I can ignore these columns. Now let's say I have 10 columns, 10 features. If I can ignore two or three features knowing that these are not important, it will definitely be beneficial for the model, right? Because the model ultimately will be lightweight, it will be less expensive, and it will be easy enough. Because the more complicated your model will be, the more time it will take for training. And we don't want to create a model by feeding unnecessary data, right? So domain knowledge plays a vital role. These are some of the applications of machine learning. Uh, Most of you are all also, I mean, you are going through statistics, you are all statistics students, so might not be aware of a lot of applications. But in case you are focused on a specific domain, a specific area like banking or telecom or something like that, you can simply go to the web and simply search machine learning applications in this particular domain and you will get it. But as an advice, I would say that don't look out for a specific domain. Be open for anything. Okay. This is one of the important slides I would cover today. In one of my people who are also having my YouTube channel, they can also go through my channel. There is a specific slide, specific video for this particular slide as well. But let me try to explain this particular slide. I have mentioned that these are the top 12 interesting careers to explore in data. Now, these are not just the only 12 options we have in data science. There are more than 20, 30 options in data science. Data science has a lot to offer to everyone. It has technical opportunities, it has non-technical opportunities as well. Okay. Now, some of the non-technical opportunities would be, if you are just focusing on data analyst positions, you have to be very strong in data analysis. Basics of Excel and basics of SQL is more than enough. Apart from data analyst, there is a role called as BI developers or Power BI developers or Tableau developers. So you can also focus on the BI part, the business intelligence part, and the visualization part. And if you can master any of those areas as well, you can easily get a job. Apart from that, business analyst can also be one of the non-technical roles. Coming on to the technical roles, there could be options like machine learning engineer, NLP engineer, NLP researcher, deep learning engineer, computer vision experts. A lot more are there actually. So data scientist, if you are going through an end-to-end program, starting from Python, statistics, SQL, Power BI, Tableau, machine learning, NLP, deep learning, everything, then you can be a data scientist. But as you all are students, I would recommend you that keep the data scientist hope for the next 2 years or 3 years. You can definitely become a data scientist in next 2 to 3 years. Your current focus should be on the junior roles, mostly in the data analyst roles or BI roles, or as a junior data scientist or as a machine learning engineer. Okay. So these are some of the data careers to explore. Data scientist, data engineer is also one of the roles in data, but it is partially related to data science, because once you are done with the model building part, when it comes to the productionizing part, once you have built the model, once you productionize it, then comes the role of a data engineer. Okay. Now big data engineer is also very similar to a data engineer who deals with big data technologies. Data visualization developer, obviously Data analysis is a must for a data visualization developer, and basics of SQL, basics of statistics, basics of Excel, and master in either Power BI or Tableau can make you a data visualization developer. Business analytics specialist are those people who are very good at storytelling. Now, I understand the problem of the customers. I should be able to convince them, I should be able to convince my higher management that this is the use case we should focus on. To convince them, I should be very good in my explaining skills. I should be very good in my presentation skills, because only when I can explain them properly, then only they will understand the real importance of that particular use case. Because if we directly speak the data science words, our higher management might not be able to get it because they don't know data science, right? So we have to be very good at the presentation skills. That's basically the role of a business analyst or a business analytics specialist. BI engineer is very related to the data visualization developer role. BI solution architect are the roles where you have to focus on how to create the models, how to do the BI stuffs, how to visualize it, and all those things. Very similar to a data visualization developer and BI engineer roles. BI specialist is also related. Analytics manager is for people who are into management, who are already leading a team or already working as managers. They can also learn data science and become analytics manager. Machine learning engineer, NLP engineer, deep learning engineer, these are some of the technical roles where Python is must. I mean, because you'll have to deal with Python, PyTorch, a lot of libraries, PySpark, Spark, a lot of things will be covered. A lot of things will be involved. And of course, understanding on algorithms, statistics, all these things are also important for a machine learning engineer. Statistician, honestly speaking, currently I'm based out in Hong Kong, and I can see the market that many people are focusing on getting statistician onboarded, be it the PhD holders or be it masters, because statisticians play a vital role in data science industry. Because each and every algorithm we deal with, the background is nothing but statistics and mathematics. Okay, so statistician has a very good role in the data science industry, especially not in India, but especially outside India. I would say maybe once you gain some experience, like 2 to 3 years of experience in India, you can definitely look out for jobs abroad. And for that, you will have to be very good at your statistical skills, of course, which you already have because you are statistics students. And once you already have some experience in the domains, you can easily get a job outside. Not easily, but yeah, uh, I mean, I can help you out in that as well. So this is one of the slides to explain you how to get your dream job. Obviously, we'll go through each and every points, because this basically comes under your resume preparation and all those things, which is already covered in the program. Now, I'll just try to pitch in a particular program which I already talked with Kasture sir from the past couple of months, and he also knows me since a long time. So recently we have designed a program. Now, before that, I must say that I have been teaching data science from the past 4 to 5 years. I have been an official teacher in various institutes as well. I'll not be able to name the institutes because we are YouTube live right now, but I have been teaching since a long time. That's where I created my own community, taking inputs from the organizations, from the various institutes, from the various edutech companies who charge like anything. They charge 50,000, 60,000, 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs for a data science course. And that's why I have designed my own hybrid course, which is entirely into data analytics. Then we have Power BI, Tableau, everything. Then we also have the machine learning, deep learning, and NLP techniques as well. So if I just quickly walk you through the program, this is how the program looks like. Initially, we have Python. We don't expect anybody to have prior experience or prior knowledge. We will be training you from scratch. Python, then we will train you on statistics, which you are already trained on, but we will just give you an idea of which are the topics which are actually used in the industries, like central limit theorem, probability theory, hypothesis testing. All these topics we will tell you. of course we will teach, but for you, I mean, our teaching won't be like, it will be like nothing, because you have already gone through a whole bunch of 2 years of statistics courses, right? So after statistics we will go through EDA, exploratory data analysis, univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, correlation, a lot more things. After EDA we will jump into the BI part. Power BI we will teach 1 week, and then 1 week for Tableau. We are teaching both, but for you, you can only pick one. Okay, because you have to be master in one, you don't have to be jack of all, right? After Power BI and Tableau, then we will jump into, yeah, before Power BI and Tableau we are also taking I'm sorry, taking a class on SQL, because SQL plays a vital role, structured query language. And after SQL we have Power BI and Tableau. Then we are deep diving into the technicals part, which is machine learning. In machine learning we'll go through classification, regression, time series forecasting, time series analysis, hyperparameter optimization, feature scaling, feature selection, feature extraction, a lot more things, PCA, LDA, KPCA, QDA, a lot more topics will be covered. Then we will jump into NLP, natural language processing, where we'll be teaching you a lot more concepts, like CBOW, what is bag of words, part of speech tagging, lemmatizers, tokenization, a lot more topics will be covered. And then we will be teaching you deep learning as well. Deep learning is my core, so don't worry about the way we teach. Deep learning, we will cover you everything from ANN, RNN, CNN, uh, self-organizing maps, RBMs, auto encoders. Lot more topic will be covered in that. And once all these topics are over, which will take roughly around 4 months, because it's an extended. I mean, the program cannot be finished before 4 months, because the amount of studies, amount of topics we will be giving, it's like vast. Okay, so after all these topics are over, the main important topic is deployment. How to create a live model, how to work on a live use case, industry level use case, and how to deploy it. Most of the courses, they are missing on this part. They don't show you how to deploy it, how to, because most of the interviewers ask you, how did you deploy your model? Did you deploy it on premises or on cloud? Okay, so all these topics will also be covered. We will show you how to deploy it on premises and on cloud, both, everything. And after that, there will be a bonus lecture on the basics of Spark and data engineering. Because as I said, for data engineering, data scientist plays a vital role, but on the ground level, data engineer is the one who works on it. But as a data scientist, I should be aware that this model is being deployed on cloud or on premises or something like that. Okay, that's the reason, for a data scientist, the basics of data engineering is important. And after all these things are over, that's where your journey starts. We are also providing 1 month of internship program, which, like, for example, 10 of you are joining the course. So for you, after the course is over, there will be a small assignment which will hardly take you 7 to 14 days to finish. Once you are done with the assignment, that's where your internship starts with us, because as a community we are already teaching, but apart from that we also have some of our internal ML services. We are also building some of the products related to machine learning only. I cannot name the products right now, because as I told, it's already YouTube live. I don't want to disclose my products, but I will explain you in the live classes. So you will all be working with us for a month. That will be an internship program. And of course, internship certificates will also be provided. And I will also try to give some stipend to the top performers as well. So briefly speaking, these are some of the program highlights. The program is in online instructor led. The classes will be on Saturdays and Sundays. In case you miss the classes, nothing to worry about. All the classes will be recorded, and all the recordings will be handed over to you. Okay. Mentors are from top product based companies. My I'm really sorry. I have been speaking, so I need some water. Just give me 1 minute. So, as I told, our mentors are from top product based companies. And the best part with Bing Datum is that you have a complete visibility of the trainers. That was the main motive why I started this program, and that was the main motive why Kasture sir has also been involved with us. He knows how the program runs and all those things. Honestly speaking, if you are interested in data science, you can go and do a proper research outside as well. Most of the edutech companies, because I have worked on for a lot of companies, I know most of the edutech companies don't reveal their trainers. Okay, for us, we will. You already know me. I can also provide you my LinkedIn profile. I can also provide the LinkedIn profiles of all our mentors. Okay, so all our mentors are coming from top product based companies. We also conduct mock interviews. After your internships will be over, we will be conducting some mock interviews so that you will be ready for the interviews. Career counseling, resume preparation, I will also do, because as I covered in this particular slide, all these points will be covered. We will give you inputs, what to write, what not to write in your resume. Th- I'm sorry, there are some templates as well which I'll be sharing with you, which you can use that and you can create your resumes. Job and internship assistance will be provided. There is no job guarantee concept in the field of data science. Even the big companies like XYZ and something, you can just explore. Nobody gives you a job guarantee, but we can provide you assistance in helping you out in finding a job. I will try to create your resumes and do some mock interviews and all those things. And I think that's it. We do have money back guarantee as well, because we know that the way we teach, it's going to be very easy and very fun for you to learn. That's the reason we are providing money back guarantee as well. Have been running this program for almost 7 to 8 batches from now. Like, this is going to be the new batch is going to be the fifth batch of data science, but we have been running a DevOps batch and engineering batch and all those things. Nobody has come back to us for a money back thing, so I think you can stay safe from that point of view. That's it about the program, and that's it about the basics of introduction. If you have any questions, you can simply ask, or else I will also send. I'll also send a link where you can. Uh, okay, let me send everything. So these are the. Okay, one more thing. Somebody's asking about the cost. So cost is something which we can discuss about officially to the, I mean, to the people who are not associated with Kasture sir. For them, I'm giving it for 15,000. It's a 4 months of program with no internship. For students of Kasture sir, it will be somewhere around. I'm just quoting it as 10,000. But if the number of people joining are more, I can also further give more discounts. So just assume the course fees as 10,000. But also think that if you are the top performer of the batch, you can also be getting a stipend, which is for your 1 month of internship. I shall also be giving you 5,000 stipend if you are a top performer. So in that case, the program costs you just 5,000. Okay. So these are some of the links you can go through. This is my YouTube channel. This is my LinkedIn profile. You can add me. And this is the document which I was talking about. You can go ahead and fill it. Just click on this. If you're interested, you can fill it. And that's it. I think we will be contacting you, or me. I will be contacting you personally. I think that's it, sir. If you want to take over, you can.
There is a question by Saurabh Gupta.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What is the scope of an actuary in the data science?
So as I already told you, right, data science is vast. There are a lot of career opportunities in that. For people like you, our first recommendation is to focus on the data analyst part. Anybody else? Okay. I'll just give it again. Okay. So as I told, as a recommendation, I would give you a recommendation that go for data analyst roles. And in that case, you will have to be focusing more on the ADA part and the statistics part and the Python part, basics of Python and the basics of SQL part. Once you get a job as a analyst, current market is having most of the openings in the data analyst roles, data analyst and BI roles. If you get a job, easily you can switch into data science. Data analyst is just a name. You will still be considered as a data scientist, or you will still be considered in the field of data science as well. Data analytics and data science are interrelated with each other. So definitely there will be a good scope. And of course, for statistics students, the chances are even more higher. People without statistics background, without mathematics background, without prior experience into technical things, they have also made it. So definitely for you, it's going to be easier.
Any other question?
Somebody has asked, is there any disadvantages for data science abroad course for an engineer and a MSc stat student? I'm not pretty sure which course are you talking about, but any course you take, I'm not pitching you to take my course. My course is just one course out of the thousands available. Any course you go for, just don't go for the online self-learning kind of course or a self-paced course, because in self-paced course your training is delayed. In case you have any doubts in between, nobody will be there to help you. So go for an instructor-led program, be it through Bing Datum or through anybody else, but try to take a course in which you know the trainers. Because if you don't know the trainers, again, it's a bet for you. Because you would be investing 20,000, 30,000 for courses, it's a betting for you. It's a probability again. So the probability of getting a good trainer is 0.5. So again, decision is yours, right?
There are two questions, one by Arti Valwani,
Okay.
and she is asking whether we should go for MSc Statistics or MSc Data Science. What should be the most preferable?
First preference, I would say go for MSc Statistics.
Okay.
Yeah, go for MSc Statistics because statistics is the core. Data science can be learned in like 4 months, 6 months, because data science are just concepts. These are just the algorithms I'm talking about and how to use those algorithms to solve the problems.
Yeah.
But statistics, if you are clear with the formulas, because honestly speaking, most of the data scientists which I have the connections in my LinkedIn, they say themselves as data scientists, but they have just done some courses and they have just called themselves data scientists. If I ask them the basics of linear regression, they will not be able to answer it. So that you have to be strong in the core. If you're going for master's program in statistics, that is more preferable.
I think Prathamesh Damle, you got the answer to your question, right?
I'll just
Okay.
maximize it if somebody is
Prathamesh
going.
Damle, I think you got your answer. Do we require a degree in data science for a job, or we can get a job even with MSc in statistics?
Do
It
we
was his
require
question.
a degree in data science? We don't need a degree in data science. Data science officially, if you are not going for a master's program, apart from that, there is no official certification of data science. Like Java, we have Sun certification, right? SCJP certified professionals. Similarly, for data science, there is no such official certification. If you go through, even if you don't go through a program, if you know the concepts of data science, if you have worked on some of the use cases, you can simply get a job as well.
Yes, Satyajit.
Which online certification are good?
Ah.
Again, it depends. See, Rugved, it depends. As I told, data science has no official certifications. You shouldn't focus on certifications. Rather than that, you should focus on learning. Because right now, what is happening in the industry, if you just look at the edutech companies, I will again not name them, but there are a lot of companies starting from E, starting from S. There are a lot of companies. What they are doing is their pure strategy is to get in touch with an IIT or an NIT and they sell their courses. So the certifications just have the name of IIT and NIT. The trainers are still the local trainers. They teach people. People blindly give 60,000, 70,000 for those courses and they get the certifications. Honestly, as a recruiter, because I have 9 years of experience and I am into recruiting as well, recruiting data science professionals. If I see an online certification that doesn't give a positive feedback to me, what I focus is if the person is able to answer or not. Certifications are not mandatory. You should rather focus on learning.
See, to all students, just I want to mention that skills are important. Certification and degree is secondary, but your skills are most important.
Yes.
Any other question? There is a question. Yes.
Okay. How do I know my concepts or base are clear, and also how to improve the skills and basics of stats? So, Krishna, are you in? Can you talk about yourself? Are you in first year or second year? Uh,
Krishna, are you in which class you are studying?
Yes, sir. Hello, sir.
Hi.
I'm studying masters in statistics. I'm in the second year
Okay.
from KC.
Okay.
Okay. She is
Okay.
from Mumbai.
Okay. So obviously you have been working, you have been studying masters in statistics. For you, definitely you do have a good amount of statistics knowledge as well. So for you, when coming on to the data science part, if you understand statistics, and then once we explain you the use cases, because the use cases which I will be explaining, I'll be taking live examples as I showed you the paintbrush, right? That's the way of teaching I do. I don't go for a PPT based training. So I will talk about real life use cases, and you will be able to relate, you will be able to visualize it. Okay, this is how it works. And once we start working on it, let's say I'm talking about an use cases. Let's say that I have this particular example like temperature and date. Okay. Now, if I just plot the temperature and date, now I have date in my y-axis, like January 1, January 2 till November 30, something like that. Now, not about the temperature. Let's talk about the uh, USD to INR rates. Okay, INR rates. Now let's talk about 1950 till 2000, 2020. Now obviously we know that the rates have gone like this, right? So once we visualize it, we know that this is linearly increasing, or there are chances where it is linearly decreasing. So you can definitely understand that how do we deal with this. We can use a linear regressor. And how does a linear regressor works? You can relate with what you have studied in statistics. Let's say I visualized and that I got that the data is not linear in nature. In that cases, what should I do? So you are the better person to answer all these kind of questions, right? So you will have a very good understanding on the use cases. And definitely when we go through the algorithms, the very first thing we do is we explain the statistics behind it. We explain what is behind the algorithm. Then we talk about the theory part. Then we show it in codes. Honestly speaking, writing a code is very simple, because in Python, especially in Python, calling a library is very simple. Calling a linear regression is just matter of two lines. But what is happening inside linear regression, we should know that. And as a statistics students, you know it. So you will be able to relate it as well. Right. And obviously there will be improvement of skills, of course, because we are training and we will be providing a lot of things. And in the meanwhile also you do have access of my WhatsApp numbers and all those things, so we can also connect offline, and we can also check on the progress, and those things are also provided. So there will be learning. Any
Hello,
questions?
sir.
Yeah.
Actually, I wanted to ask one question.
Yes.
Uh, uh, um, I'm planning to do masters in statistics, sorry, in data science or
Okay.
business analytics.
Okay.
But I'm facing one issue that in data science, there are few colleges abroad, like mostly USA,
Okay.
where they are concentrated, like majority of the students who are going for that course are engineers.
Okay.
So I'm little not sure about that because uh, they have lots of computer engineering, like background of computers, whereas in statistics I've never learned about that. So will there be a disadvantage for me to for
No, there will be no disadvantage. I'm not sure which universities you are talking about, but most of the
no, like in
universities,
general?
what I have seen, most of the universities accept masters in statistics, bachelors in statistics, and computer engineers and IT engineers as well. These are the four
Yes, sir.
specializations they accept. So I'll have to check which university you are talking about. But in case you are going for that, nothing to worry about. You don't have any problems in that. You can easily capture it.
Okay, but like there is deep technical. too technical, like the subjects are too technical, like some courses in that course,
Yeah, see, computer
some
engineers
subjects.
are all about learning programming languages and learning the concepts of computer programming, right? So, if you are good with R, I think you are good. I think you are being taught R in your classes, right?
Yes.
R
Yes,
programming.
yes,
So now,
yes.
apart from R, if you learn Python, you are good to go. You don't have any issues in that, and you will not be struggling for sure. So just try to master Python, and mastering Python is not that difficult. I would say I come from a programming background, so I learned Python in just 10 hours. But for you, you can definitely learn
Sir,
it
I
in a
have
week.
learned Python. I know Python
Then
as
it's
well as
not a
R.
problem. Then it's not a problem. You can
But
easily
about
cope up.
data structures and algorithms, we have never studied that. But there is a criteria for jobs as well as for courses, that you have minimum criteria that you should know this data structures and algorithms coursework.
Okay,
So
so
would you like to?
data structures and algorithm, you can easily take help of hacker ranks or some of the online portals, or else maybe you can just ping me on WhatsApp. I will try to give you some of the materials where you can go through the data structures, but I don't think there will be a major problem in that. But apart from that, I just have a small advice. Why are you looking out for a master's in data science immediately? Because have you already thought about it, like 100% sure you have to go, or you are just analyzing it?
Because I'm not satisfied with the masters in statistics, because I'm doing from Mumbai University. So majorly like we have theory based, and
Okay.
uh,
Now,
I
my
want to get.
suggestion would be, honestly speaking, I have many people who have come from US, and there are people in US right now, students who are getting, who are actually facing problems in getting a job, because if you have zero experience, even if you are doing it from a very good university, then also your chances would be not that great. So if you can go for a 1 year of like experience here in India and then try,
Mm.
that would be easy. That would be okay, and you can easily get a job in US. In case that's not the case, you still want to go, definitely you can go and try. But with respect to your particular problem which you had, I would say that it's nothing to worry about. Data
See,
Okay,
structures
any
and algorithms.
suggestions, sir, for work, like getting internship right now? Because I see there are no internships available anywhere, like on LinkedIn, or because there are really high expectations from like requirements.
Okay, I had two openings immediately, but that's basically closed. But I do have some of the friends who are also working on some of the startup based companies and mid level startups. You can connect me on WhatsApp. Maybe I'll try to push your profile to them. I cannot guarantee, but I can just
Yeah,
push your
yeah, sure.
profile to them, and I think
I
Okay.
will add to Krishna and all other students also one more thing, that
okay.
statistics students have good logical thinking,
Yes, sir.
and those who
Exactly.
have good logical thinking, for them learning programming is very easy.
Exactly, sir. Yes.
Means if you compare two students, one is from computer science and one is from MSc statistics, I think student from MSc statistics will get better programming skill, because his logical thinking is has very sound base.
Exactly, sir.
Number one.
Exactly.
Second thing is regarding the internship, what Krishna has asked. See, in my college I have MSc statistics. I am teaching machine learning course to MSc part 2, and for internal marks I have made it compulsory to make one internship for 15 marks, and till date all students have completed internship. This is what I want to mention. Another thing is, in my college I have three computer laboratories, and my MSc1 MSc2 students are supposed to be sit in the computer laboratory from 7:30 to 6:30 compulsorily. I give them one big data for their projects, and they have to do everything in R and Python. So statistics, it depends upon the teacher, how they motivate the students and how they ask to learn their more skills, right?
Exactly, sir. Yes.
Uh, See, there are a few more questions added here. Mansi Bhosle had asked one question as a direct message to you,
Oh, is it?
when the course is going to begin.
Uh,
I
I
think
could
you
not.
can see, Satyajit, you have
Yes, sir.
all emails and you can give them the replies on email also.
Okay, sir. I will do
Personal,
that.
personal. Prathamesh Damle had suggested one. I would suggest registering on Intershala website. You will get many internships. Krishna, your problem is solved. Yes. Okay. Any other questions?
The batch starts this Saturday. This Saturday, the batch is starting. The way we deal is, as I told, it's going to be very different. Honestly speaking, many people who have gone through courses worth 2 lakhs, 3 lakhs have also come back to me and have joined our courses. The way we work is initially we start with a one-to-one call where we try to understand each and every candidate, what's their background, what's their immediate goals, and all those things. And then we get started with the program. In between the programs there will be n number of one-to-one sessions as well. There will be rigorous assignments being given, and there are deadlines to keep you motivated, because it has been seen that people, because already the recordings are provided to the students, so many people think that okay, recordings are already available, so we can go through it later on, right? So, and that demotivates the candidates that okay, we'll see it later on, and that creates a lag, and the lag continues. That's the reason we have done necessary changes in this batch, so that you will be interactive enough, you will be connected with us throughout the program, and after the program, I think you will have a better opportunity as compared to your counterparts, that I can assure you, because I do have a lot of friends who are working in startups.
माझ्याने
And
पापडी नाही दिली तुला.
I'm sorry. Can you just mute? Okay, so I do have a lot of connections in the startups and mid-level startups. Many of my friends are working. So apart from Internshala, because Internshala is a global website and there are tons of students applying for internships there. Many are able to get it, but 90%, 95% people are not able to get it because of the competitiveness. So as as part of my job, I will definitely be giving you internship in my company for sure. Apart from that, you are all, if you are looking out for a 3 months internship or 4 months internship, then also I can try and get you that internships as well, because as I said, I do have some connections. So I think that's it. What kind of job roles? You can get started as a data analyst, as I told, right? Or junior data scientist roles or something like that. For you, you should be open. You should be open for anything.
Yes.
Jobs and internships are more important
कप
than
होतं का पण.
choosing a particular stream and then focusing on it, right?
Yes.
Okay, I think anybody
Yes.
else?
Fellow student, is it okay now? If you have no questions, I think we must thank Satyajit for his nice presentation.
Thank
In
you, sir.
fact, Professor Ansari has already appreciated the presentation.
Thank
There
you,
are
sir.
many other students are also appreciating the presentation. So I must thank on behalf of my college and on behalf of my students and all students for wonderful presentation, wonderful information. And just let me add that every student needs some real life experience. And for real life experience, you have to go for skill achievement, and that you can add it by undergoing certain certifications, which is well-known certifications, and where you will get the worth of your payment. So with this, once again, I thank you for Satyajit for his presentation. And assuming that there are no more questions, I will stop here. And your email addresses are with Satyajit. He will contact you with email. And I think those who are interested can continue the communication with him. Thank you very much.
Yeah, both my numbers are also provided in the chat box. Both the
Yes.
numbers are available on WhatsApp. In case I'm not able to answer you on this call, which was like 60 to 90 minutes call, you can definitely ping me and we can have a word. Okay.
Satyajit, I have one suggestion.
Yeah, sir.
You have two WhatsApp group, big data, and all those things on
Yeah,
which
sir. Yes, sir.
I am the member.
Yes,
So
sir.
for this student, you can just make a one WhatsApp group
Yeah, sir.
where
I
they will
can.
get the daily updates and everything.
Yeah, sir. We can create. No problem.
Yeah, yeah.
We can create. I maybe I'll create one and I'll provide you so that you can just circulate.
Hmm. You can ask on email their phone numbers and you can create it, no problem.
Okay, sir. No problem, sir.
Okay.
Okay, thank you guys.
Okay.
It was a nice experience and nice session from my side as well. Interactive enough. Because I like interactive sessions. Most of my sessions which I give are little bit dull. People don't interact. There was a good amount of people interacting in this session. And that's it. Thank you guys.
Thank
And
you.
please follow me on YouTube as well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you all. Yeah.
Thank you.